two brothers who, back in the mid-90s, inherited a pretty fair chunk of change from their parents and proceeded to blow pretty much the whole thing, about $250,000 between them, in the casinos of Biloxi, Mississippi. So I thought in these times of economic crisis, we ought to get back to basics and read a little chapter about slot machines. Part of it. $2,000 behind, Steve rests in a comped room, complete with jacuzzi, then walks back into the casino near midnight. He's had 1 hour's sleep in 2 nights. On a down escalator to the blackjack tables, he floats in a suspended state, like a ghost watching all the other people who seem to be there having a good time. It's a step-framed film. They're moving in slow motion or something. X-ray vision. He wanders over to a slot machine that once, months before, hit $5,000 for him. And he puts $100 in and starts playing. The reel spin and the machine does it again. 3 red, sizzling 7s with their backdrop lightning bolts fall into the 3 windows. It feels pleasantly terrifying. Better than drugs if he remembers drugs accurately, which he probably doesn't since that was a long time ago. He laughs. He checks the machine once more, touching the first window, the second, the third, to be absolutely certain that this has happened. Then he hands an attendant his driver's license and goes looking for Melanie, his very occasional companion on these trips, because now, after 48 hours, they can leave. Slots may be for chumps, but there are worse things to be. You could be someone who spends his time sifting out who's a chump and who isn't, a spiritual fraternity boy. You could do everything right and be made gloriously happy thereby, but then you wouldn't be in a casino. We put nickels, quarters, and half dollars into the machines. We put in 1, 5, 25, and a few times for the sport to see what it feels like, $100 tokens. The cheaper slots are sometimes played with real coins, while the high-ticket slots are played with bills that the machine converts into tokens or credits. Put a $100 bill into a $5 slot, and you have 20 credits. Hit something, and you might win 50 credits, or 100, or 1,000. 1,000 credits on a $5 slot machine is $5,000. Sometimes you do hit it. The first time might be at a 25-cent draw poker machine, betting 5 credits a hand, $1.25. After being there for 10 minutes or so, while you're pressing the worn and discolored buttons to make bets and other discolored buttons to hold cards and yet another button to make the draws, you just casually start thinking, in spite of all the common sense in the world, that this machine in front of you is a good machine. Or maybe that it seems hot. Or even, after reading one of those public relations pieces, that you have found that lost Atlantis of slot players a loose machine. Sheer genius, that word. Loose, with all its implications of sin and imperfection and factory defect. Its suggestion that the customarily tight mechanical fist holding all those coins deep inside the machine has been momentarily distracted. Its hint that this son of a bitch is tired, worn out, relaxing into death, about to come completely unglued and just rain money. Its threat that if you don't hurry, the management will discover this treasonous machine and fix, that is, tighten it double quick. Well, someone dreamt that up. The word is a miracle, inspires awe. Anyway, you've had a couple of flushes and full house and some 3-of-a-kinds, and your original 20 credits bought with a $5 bill is up to 98. And you're thinking maybe you've got a loose machine, that $5 is now almost $25, and that's not much really, but you've been to the casino only a couple of times before, so it's not just $25, it's 98 credits. So what happens now? You lose? No way. You're a beginner. You're just now contracting this disease. Next time you hit the dirty little lit-up bet 5 credits button, the machine delivers a hand with 2 wild deuces and 3 low cards, so you hold the deuces, discard the others, punch, draw, and what shows up? 2 more deuces. 4-of-a-kind deuces. 5-of-a-kind really since they're wild, but on this machine, 4 deuces is a bonus hand. It's not worth a few hundred credits, it's worth 1,000 credits. 1,000. the right thing. You hit the cash out button, and the quarters start clanking into the mailbox-sized steel trays set below the video screen, and you start taking handfuls and tossing them into one of the big white plastic cups that are stacked around the rows of slots for this purpose. It's like those movie scenes in which people are throwing money into the air or running their hands through gold dust, letting it slip through their fingers back into the pile. It's a victory over money, the tyrant that has been pushing you around your whole life. The quarters keep coming, and then they stop, but you are not paid off yet. The machine just ran out. It's exhausted. It needs a fill. You have broken the bank. A light on top of the machine goes on, and you start looking around for an attendant. Eventually, she comes, looks, goes away, then returns sometime later, lugging 3 chubby, shrink-wrapped plastic bags of quarters, which she tears open and empties into the machine's hopper. She slams it closed, makes notations on a clipboard, says congratulations, and disappears. In a room somewhere, somebody is thinking all this stuff up, choreographing it. The machine running out, the light on top, the jargon, a fill, and how to package the quarters, how the inside of the machine should look to the sucker. Looking over the attendant's shoulder, you know all that, but it still works. You are stupid with joy. More quarters start clanging down into the tray. Eventually, you have 3 full plastic buckets. You carry these to the cage to be turned into bills. You're literally weaving around the machines, lights are glistening, everything's brighter than before. 1,000 quarters is Publisher's Clearinghouse, Uncle Scrooge, the Donald. Unbridled bliss, free money, and an experience that seems foreordained, ultimate, perfect. 2 years later, at 6:30 in the morning, you will hit $8,000 on a $5 slot machine. By that time, $8,000 will be looking across the ledger at a figure 10 times its size in the other column. You will stare at this machine, tired, quiet, and you will be pleased. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed listening as much as I enjoyed the time.